Good evening, hunters. Well, for me, it's 4 a.m. right now. But today, I bring you a behind-the-scenes look into Season 7. Myself and a bunch of creators were invited to a behind-the-scenes look into Season 7, so I'd like to share that with you now. With the first detail being, it's been 2 years, hunters. With Season 7, we'll be entering our 2nd anniversary of Monster Hunter now. I can't believe it's already been 2 years. Anyway, Season 7 brings us 3 new monsters, brings back exploration bases with a couple of new features, gives us a brand new way to track the specific monster you want to hunt, and it rewards us even more for using style customization. So let's jump into the details. First of all, thank you Monster Hunter Now team for putting this info out in a timely manner so that we could actually make videos about it. I appreciate that. Let's start with the stuff that they covered that is already public knowledge. Currently, with the event going on right now, we have style customization for Hammer and Gunlance. Both of them have 2 new styles, which is lit. I mean, like, literally because of the Gunlance. Anyway, for Gunlance, we have Guard Reload, which allows you to reload when you guard, but also use Erupting Cannon, which not only is faster than the Wormstake, but it also, like, powers up attacks after you use it. So that's pretty cool, other than shelling. It powers up attacks other than shelling after that. And Blast Dash, which is a fan favorite for a lot of Gunlance users. I personally have never even touched it, but I can't wait until I have nothing to do and I, like, want to make a video and I just dive into Blast Dash really hard because it looks so fun. And for Hammer, we have Meteor Strike, which allows you to launch yourself up in the air and slam down after a 3 charge, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other combos. I haven't really dabbled with it much. And Water Strike, which allows you to counter with the hammer. That's really sick. I've played with it a little bit, but currently I have to get more Riftborn scales for the Gyros hammer to be able to style customize for myself. But playing with it in the training room feels amazing. You can counter like really quickly, and I'm specifically going for the Gyros hammer because I want to see if the 3 charge spinning attack that you can get up to like 16 or 20 hits or something is like a really good status inducer, because that would be really sick to just like go behind a monster, spin to win, paralyze it, and then unleash on the head. But like that element of it mixed with the countering, you can even counter out of that spin. I tested it. My soul wants to love Impact Crater because I love to jump and slam, but Water Strike seems to be the best in my opinion because of the counter and the spin. Hopefully I can get enough Riftborn Gyro scales to style customize this into Water Strike by this weekend, because I'm going out to have a bangin' good time with the hammers this weekend. Anyway, this event also brings Riftborn Radobon, and I tried to hunt a 10-star Riftborn Radobon yesterday and just got absolutely shreked. So let me know if you hunters have taken him down yet. Friend Shield says that this build works, but I haven't tested it yet because my Devil Joe dual blades aren't high enough. I kind of just fell off using Dragon Element altogether. But pretty soon I'll be using it more because our next Riftborn monster is Devil Joe. Goodness gracious, hunters. He'll debut on September 22nd. And by the way, Season 7 launches on September 17th for me, September 18th for most of the rest of the world. That should be 8 p.m. for me in EDT. But yeah, Riftborn Devil Joe is gonna be tanky. But at the rate we're going, maybe we'll have dual blade style customizable by that time? Because we already have SNS Longsword, Hammer Gunlance, Light Bowgun, and Greatsword. So that's half the weapons already. And speaking of weapons, no, Insect Glaive is not coming with this season. I know, I'm sorry, I want it to come too, but I guess winter? Come on? It would have been perfect for autumn. I don't understand why they didn't do it yet, other than like wanting to extend it out or really work on the mechanics. I'm not sure. Or maybe something to do with the buffing system of the Kinsect. They want to have like a specific amount of types of buffs in the game by default before they introduce that. I don't know, hunters. So yeah, start posting memes about waiting for Insect Glaive. But excluding Riftborn Devil Joe, let's talk about the 3 new monsters this season. I couldn't be happier with the lineup, to be honest. First up, we have Espinas, which literally translates to thorns in Spanish. This monster debuted in Frontier, which I never played. Maybe in the future I'll dive into it and see what it's like. I've heard it's crazy, but it's characterized by being like this sluggish, plant-like, thorny monster that just like sleeps. Even if you're like attacking it, it'll kind of be like, what's going on? And once it wakes up and it gets enraged, its thorns turn red and it becomes a formidable threat. It hits pretty dang hard. It can inflict poison, paralysis, and fire damage, and it was featured in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which makes it the third Frontier monster to come to the mainline series, because Hypnocatrice and Lavasioth were originally from Frontier and premiered in the mainline series in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. But speaking of monsters designed by the Frontier team, weren't we supposed to get an exclusive Elder Dragon for Monster Hunter Now? Whatever happened to that? It's been 2 years. Anyway, the Monster Hunter Now team specifically said that you should target the legs first on Espinas because it is an equal threat from the front and the back, so knock it down and then go for the other parts was their recommendation. But in Sunbreak, this was my favorite endgame armor to run, specifically layered. I think I used the Mizuha like ninja mask, and then the rest was like red Espinas. It was a vibe. And its dual blades were fire and poison. And I think another creator asked about the dual element, and it was like a neither confirm nor deny kind of vibe, but I'm pretty sure they're not doing the dual element, which is disappointing. But hey, I don't know yet. But speaking of Sunbreak monsters, our next monster is Garangolm. Garangolm debuted in Sunbreak and is specifically designed after Frankenstein's monster. It's a fanged beast with an appearance similar to a gorilla, and it has two like powered up armored fists similar to like Chatacabra when it has the rocks on. But specifically it covers one arm in moss and one arm in like molten rock and lava. So this will have a dual weakness because of that. If you hit one arm, you want to target it with like fire for the mossy arm, and you want to target it with like water for the molten arm. I'm not sure because I don't have the stats here of exactly what its actual weaknesses are, but those are what it's weak to in the mainline games on those arms, along with a couple other weaknesses on those arms. So it's probably going to be fire and water that it's weakest to on those two, respectively. Fighting wise, it likes to like slam its fists into the ground and jump around. It's normally a pretty docile beast, but once it gets enraged, it's out for blood. Seems like that's a pattern with these monsters. I think Garangolm is sick. I love, gentle giant golem type monsters, so really cool. Its armor is like super tanky looking, so if you're into that kind of thing, we get a new armor like that. And based on some of the footage they gave me, it looks like he's gonna be our very first monster that we have to hunt for our missions in the story this time. Next up, we have Lunagaron, a literal ice werewolf. I am so hyped for this monster, and it being autumn, we're gonna have a Frankenstein monster and a werewolf monster. Yes, I love the spooky vibes. If you notice the Garon at the end of its name, it is a distant relative of Ebony Odogaron and regular Odogaron. The Garon is like wolf or dog species in Monster Hunter taxonomy. It's a highly aggressive monster, and it's got a lot of personality. Like, this is what happens when it misses its grab, so I hope that they put all that kind of personality into him in this game as well. It uses fast attacks and ice breath for offense, and then when it gets enraged, it covers itself in ice for like stronger weapons in the claws and armor for its back, etc. In the mainline games, it's weakest to fire and thunder, so I'm assuming it's mainly going to be weakest to fire. But that means that in Monster Hunter Now for the autumn, we're going to have 2 out of the 3 lords. So does that mean we're gonna get Malzeno for Halloween? If you don't know, Malzeno is like directly based off of Dracula. So we have a Frankenstein's monster, we have a werewolf, and then we have Dracula or the vampire. That's one of the reasons why I love Sunbreak. They really like leaned into the themes. And it looks like we might get that for Halloween, but no confirmation on my end. That's not confirmed at all. It's just really interesting that we're getting 2 of the 3 lords, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you don't know, in Sunbreak, the 3 lords reigned over the Citadel, which is like a large ruined castle, and Lunagaron like camps out in the icy caves, and Garangolm hangs out in like the grassy rocky areas, and then Malzeno reigns over the ruined castle. It's a vibe. Anyway, I couldn't be happier with these picks. I really hope we get Malzeno for Halloween. That would just like solidify this season for me. Next up, the return of exploration bases. A lot of it is similar to what we've already experienced in the previous beta tests that they were running, but this time we have a fourth type of research to collect, and that's going to be based on slaying monsters. So it looks like you will get one like postcard for every 10 monsters you slay. So to build up your base, you'll have to do huntathons, EDIs, gather at different nodes, and slay monsters to collect enough postcards and points to upgrade your bases. They really want this to be a feature where we can all like work together with other hunters, and they've also worked to add more privacy features because a lot of feedback they got was that they felt like people were like doxing themselves, so maybe that's like covering up the names if they want to or something. It was a little vague on like what they were actually doing for privacy, but it's good that they're, you know, addressing those concerns. They've also made it to where you can remotely check on exploration bases, which is one of my biggest feedback from the original beta test. It was frustrating that you'd have to like drive all around town or like just happen to be near one and then you could click like nearby bases. But the way they were explaining it, it sounds like you can use wide mode to explore and find an exploration base, but you still have to go there to interact with it. I think that's a very good middle ground. It's like, okay, well, I can search around and like tag the one I want or look and see if other players are engaging in this specific base, so you can actually work together, and then you can like drive downtown a couple times a week and just put in your research there and build up the base if you want to. But that also reminds me that a new feature of exploration bases is that however many kilometers away you collected the research, the more points you'll get towards your base. So this like really incentivizes travel, and it's really cool because like whenever I go on road trips or I go somewhere like relatively far away, I don't feel like there's any reward for that in Monster Hunter now. Like in Pokemon Go, at least there's like, you know, regional differences and stuff like that, but in Monster Hunter now there's not really much of that. So adding more incentives to travel is so cool to me. I wonder what it maxes out at. But as you can see here, it'll have the kilometers or the distance away from the base that you collected the research, so you can see which ones you want to submit at each base. They also explained that they'd have leaderboards like they did in the beta test, but that there would be regional leaderboards as well to promote like friendly competition between the hunters of an area. I think that's really cool. We're like literally working together, but it's also a competition. So it's not exactly PvP. The enemy is still the monsters, but we are having a friendly competition to see who can do the best. But I think they said that there might be a global one coming as well. They also said there would be 6 new skills to master, including Pursuit, Ballistics, Reckless, Defender, Vital Fire, and Vital Ice. Vital Fire and Ice are obviously going to be Espinas and Lunagaron, and they're going to work the same way as Vital Thunder, where it scales the HP to the fire and ice damage. I should have taken better notes on the skills. They just said they would be sharing all of this and that it would be recorded and that they would send us the recording, but they haven't sent us the recording, so I didn't take as detailed of notes this season as last season, and I should have. But they explained the skills to us, and I vaguely remember them being like exactly what they sound like. I know Shinkai, linked in the description, was there, and he is very detail oriented, so maybe he took better notes than I did on this. But I also saw Power pop in, so maybe he'll cover some of this as well. But they did say that exploration bases will be a permanent feature now, and it is literally like the title of this season. Monster Hunter Now, Season 7, The Advent of the Exploration Base. They also said there would be like sub-seasons in every quarter for like exploration bases resetting. I think they said it was like every 2 weeks we would get a new round of exploration bases. So I assume that means they're going to do a monster outbreak every 2 weeks. Again, I didn't take super detailed notes on that, but it's going to be ballpark 2 or 3 weeks or something like that. But that's about the extent of my knowledge on the exploration bases as of now. I'm excited to see how this evolves. But on to another new feature that I know you'll find exciting: monster investigations. So again, I don't have any visuals of this because I thought that would be shared, but it is not shared with me. But essentially what they're doing is you're gonna have the ability to research a specific monster, similar to how you can like track your monster with your monster tracker with your cat, but I can't remember how you fill the parameter or how you like complete the research. But once you do, essentially what'll happen is it'll treat it as like a mini event. So you'll have like a lot more of that monster or that type of monster. If you're searching for like specifically water, you'll have more Gyrototus on the field, etc. the way he explained it was that it's not going to make every monster on the map this, but it will heavily lean it towards that. So pretty sick. You're essentially investigating and teaching your scout flies, which again, I didn't even realize that your ring is scout flies. I should have realized, I probably realized that at the beginning of the game, but just completely forgot about it. But yeah, you're training your scout flies to investigate for specific monsters. So you'll have that along with monster tracking and also events. So really, really cool update. I love that. On to style customization and Riftborn equipment. So they really want you to make Riftborn style customized weapons. So to incentivize that, they're actually boosting the raw attack for most style customized weapons. So now the style customized weapons will be even more powerful than they were previously. Again, I don't have a visual for that, but I distinctly remember it going from like 16 to 19 raw attack or something like that. So like a pretty solid boost, like 1900. But along with that, there are going to be 2 new Riftborn animations. So essentially, if you customize your weapon to a certain degree, then you'll get this like sick purple like glow on your weapon. And then if you max out that style customized weapon, you'll get an even cooler like Riftborn glow on your weapons. That's really dope. So style customized weapons will be the strongest weapons in the game, according to the Monster Hunter Now team currently. But myself and basically all the other creators advocated for you guys and were like, okay, so we're gonna get more effects on our weapons, etc. Can we please talk about performance? And the representative was like, well, we're really proud of our performance, and I would agree. Like, I think the performance in Monster Hunter Now is amazing. The way it you can play this crazy action game and it just like plays flawlessly most of the time is amazing to me. Like, I can run it on my iPhone 15 Pro Max at max settings and grind for hours. But there definitely is an overheating issue, and myself and a lot of other creators were asking for like, I specifically asked for a mode where I was like, hey, can we just like turn all effects off? Like just having a mode where we can do that for like lower end phones, or like an even lower graphic setting, if we could do that, please. And he was almost confused. Like, he was surprised that all of us were saying that. So I feel like it's something that we all helped bring attention to in that, because like that was like half the Q&A was us talking about like specific phones. He asked for specific models, so I gave mine. It was like Android, iPhone, all across. I think someone even said something like a Red Magic or like, a gaming phone. So they're aware of it and they're looking at the specific specs for specific phones. I think I asked like 3 times for like a lower end mode for you hunters. So hopefully they come out with something like that. I know that they personally probably want the game to look beautiful, but also if we're out grinding for hours, I mean, if you haven't seen, check out my Namiel episode. Like, it was hot out and I just could not play the game out there. Like, my phone was cooking. So while I love the new Riftborn effects, I think it looks amazing, and it being winter is gonna be nice because my phone's not gonna overheat, but during the summer, like, it's gonna cook our phones even more, dude. So they are aware of that issue now. Now let's go into like miscellaneous for season 7. It's the 2nd anniversary, so we're gonna get a bunch of new like layered equipment, including these fancy new duds. But also, they're working with the manga artist Yusuke Kozaki that did the art for Qualili for the new art for the anniversary. And he also designed a layered equipment, which is like, it gives me like very much Team Leader or Team Grunt vibes from Pokemon. It's very much like kind of Pokemon Go vibes, but I dig it a little bit. I think it's a pretty cool outfit. But we're also getting this 2nd anniversary balloon that'll float around behind us, so that's kind of sick. As well as the attendant armor set, so you can be one heck of a butler. Along with this set that's called the Hornet set, but it looks like randomly thrown in here also. They just showed that we have a new guild card pose. I'm all for that. Thank you. This is a really cool pose, like the turn around, showing it off kind of vibe. More of that, please. I want a bunch of guild card poses. I hope they don't make us pay for that. But speaking of paying, we also have 2 new stamps, but in the assets, they are listed as season 7 stamps. So I'm hoping that this just comes with the event. They're really cool stamps. I like them a lot. Also, for those of you using my referral link in the description, thank you. It has suddenly started working again, and I'm actually able to collect the little exchange tokens for it. So I'm probably going to be able to get these stamps soon. So that's exciting for me because I've had hundreds of referrals and most of them were just useless because at the early game it was really nice. I got a lot of potions and stuff, and then like mid game it just stopped rewarding me at all for any referrals because they put a cap on it because people were using it in different ways. But now it's actually notifying me when people are completing the quests. So that's really dope. Some other hunters in the Q&A were asking about if the style customization upgrades will be affecting shelling and a bunch of other like really nitty-gritty details, and the representative was really impressed. He's like, we got real hunters in here. So that was cool. And they told us that they would be giving us that information too and answering all the questions that were asked. But I'm making this the morning of the date when this comes out. I purposely waited for those questions and I can't wait anymore or else I won't have time to put this video out. So I don't have answers to those questions. There were a lot of like really good questions. But one question I did ask is, will trial quests be returning? Because that was like a super fun feature for me and I never beat that Paolumu. But he said that just like the exploration bases going through a beta, he liked that they put out some features, test them with a huge audience, bring them back, make them better, and then put them out. He likes that they do that in the game, but he can't confirm nor deny it's coming back, if that makes sense. So in my mind, a new and improved trial quest will be returning at some point, and I'm super excited for that. But that's all the notes that I have. I am really impressed with this game. I'm super happy with everything they've put out for the last 2 years. I honestly feel like it's a lot to keep up with, so that means they're updating the game like crazy. There's a new event like every single week with borderline no downtime. And I'm really thankful for the connection that we've made over the last 2 years, hunters. It's really cool seeing you out there, seeing you in my Discord, like out there hunting constantly, and you are all getting higher HR than me, so I gotta grind. But I'm really thankful to be making content for this game. I'm not gonna make a September events video, so really quick. We're currently in Even Happier Hammer and Gunlance hunting. We have the Season 6 climax coming up on September 8th, with exclusively Namiel in EDIs and more rewards for huntathons and EDIs, as well as the return of Mysterious Driftstone H and I. And then we have the Monster Hunter Now 2nd anniversary starting on the 14th, where you'll be able to find more of all rare species and Riftborn monsters that have so far appeared in the game, as well as an exclusive exchange hub. And during this event, Season 7 starts. Oh, and they also said that at the start of Season 7, the materials required to forge and upgrade most weapons will be severely reduced. So that is an amazing time to go out and grind and upgrade and create new weapons. So make a list, plan what you want, because most likely it's going to cost like way less materials to upgrade. And then we'll have a 2nd anniversary drift smelting event where they're basically just super vague about it and don't tell you anything. You'll get a new driftstone. Anyway, that's everything I have for today. I gotta go wake up my kids for school soon, edit this video and make a thumbnail super quick, then client edit all day and get back to my content grind so you can see what I've been up to this season. Thank all of you for being here. If you watched to this point, then I personally appreciate you, but special thanks to my channel members, especially Superwoman for being a G-rank channel member. Please like this video if you guys liked it. Thanks so much for watching. Happy hunting, and subscribe so you can go on this hunting journey with me for at least 2 more years. I don't know, for 10 years, however long this game is around. Anyway, until next time, see you out there, hunters.